wow, Aljamain Sterling just proved most of the people wrong. He shut everybody up, showed why he's still a top bantamweight contender. Now, there's people who said that Peter Yan won the fight, it was a draw, and Aljamain Sterling won the fight. I believe that Aljamain did enough to win the fight because Aljamain Sterling landed more strikes than Peter Yan in the first round. And that's the thing that Aljamain had so much success in the first fight too. He was just landing. He wasn't even like it didn't even have to be damaging. He was just landing. So, and that counts towards the judge's eye. So therefore, that gets you the round. He won that first round. Wait, did he win the second? When did he get knocked down in the first fight? I have to look at that. But he got Yan when he was at his weakest, which Yan is such a slow starter because he reads that data and waits for you. The fight was a very close fight, and for Aljamain to able to get all this input and win, it could have been a dominant showing if Aljamain didn't gas out. He was gassed in that fifth round, and you could tell he was sloppy with the takedowns, and that's the problem with Aljamain. He is so sloppy with those takedowns. He makes those takedowns predictable when he's gassed out. What, 2 out of 22 takedown attempts? Yan did a very good job of stuffing the takedowns. He did a good job of sprawling, getting the underhooks, clinching up. He did a very good job. We have to see a trilogy. I believe a trilogy will be down the line, and I think that fight will be a very technical class fight. But let's get into the fight and see the key moments of the fight. This was a very good takedown by Aljamain Sterling, even though he didn't get it fully. He grabbed the leg and then used his right arm to push on Yan since he was on one foot, made him go off balance. And what Aljo did very well was holding on to that other leg, because if he didn't hold that leg while he was trying to do that, Yan would have got out of that without problem. But he didn't, and then Aljamain just crawled into the mount position. He just slid right into the mount position and then got Peter Yan's back. I'm pretty sure Aljo had like 5 minutes of back control time. That will get you 10-8 rounds. And people are saying, should the second round be a 10-8 round? So the fight starts out with Yan. I'm pretty sure Yan was going, and then Aljamain got that takedown like 4 minutes into the fight. Well, 1 minute into the fight. I was getting mixed up by the board, but I'm pretty sure he got that, and then stayed there for 4 minutes straight. Another thing I thought Aljo did really well was using those takedown things to make Peter Yan guess, because in one moment in the third round, I believe that Aljo faked the takedown and saw that Peter Yan was waiting to sprawl, so he went back up and was like, oh, that's not going to work. And then another one, good moment in the third round, which led to the back take again in the third round. Yan overcommitted. I think Jan's biggest mistake in this fight, he was so stinking mad. He threw everything with vicious intentions. He wanted to knock out Aljamain Sterling cold. But that didn't work. Aljo ducked under, and you could see that Yan was going to defend that double. But then Aljo did a really good job of transitioning into a single, got Yan off balance, and then he saw that Yan had his hand on the cage, transitioned into another double, and Yan couldn't get those underhooks in, and then lifted him up, and then took him down and got his back again. Beautiful chain wrestling by Aljamain Sterling to get that takedown. The fourth round is the round where if Yan would have done this in the early rounds, Sterling wouldn't have that much success. because he was teeing off him, that those strikes, those combinations he was laying on Sterling. Sterling didn't like that, so he was desperate for those takedowns. And then Jan, knowing what to do, he got the sprawl again. This one moment where Jan threw a leg kick and made Sterling fall was because when he hit the leg kick, he snapped it back. Because what Volkanovski did when he did against Ortega was when he landed that leg kick, he had that leg kick out there, so it was easy for Ortega to pull and then get that mounted guillotine. But Jan snapped it back before Aljo could fully get that leg in, and once Aljo made contact with that leg, Jan knew to sprawl. That was a really good moment from Jan. And then in the fifth round, Jan did something really good, and it proves why he's so good at reading that data. Sterling goes for that same takedown again, where he's initially going for a double, but then transitioned to a single, and then try to go for a double again. But Jan was smart and saw that Jan was trying to go for that double again by extending his arm, trying to wrap his arms around his legs. Jan pushed that arm away, and then dropped Sterling, pushed him off of him, and then Sterling went for another takedown, and that didn't work out. But yeah, I think this fight was a very close fight, very good fight. Like I said, trilogy probably down the line, but I'll see y'all in the Volkanovski versus Korean Zombie fight.